Ladies and gentlemen, first of all I want to welcome Molly's family here. As I say, this is overdue, but we're really pleased to have you here, and we're very pleased to finally be here and acknowledge the life of Molly Cameron, who was a significant local resident in this area. I want to acknowledge former Deputy Mayor of South Sydney Council and Councillor Jill Lay. I want to acknowledge former Councillor Terry Murphy, who's just over there. Ladies and once again, you know, Sue and all of Molly's family, we very much appreciate you being here. People would be aware that Molly in 1958 opened a ladies' salon behind a Tom's Barber Shop in Alexandria, which was not just a business but a meeting place for the whole community. I mean, that salon and barber shop became known as a real core of the local community, a real meeting place. Money was raised. You'd be aware that Molly and Tom were involved in the first Alexandria Scouts and Cubs group. Molly was treasurer of Alexandria Public School P&C for years while the kids were there and much longer afterwards. So that gives you just some tiny little taste of Molly's life. She's also a great South Sydney supporter. We're hoping that Molly can assist us this afternoon. She's been trying very hard for the last 5 rounds, but we think we might get a bit of lip off. And with due respect to all Tiger supporters, we're hoping for a bit of deliverance this afternoon. When tenants were being forced out of their homes, Molly supported them in court cases. She lobbied MPs, she lobbied the Ombudsman. She also was, a very active member of the Australian Labor Party, held a whole series of positions, initially in Alexandria and then in Erskineville branch. What we're talking about is somebody that was deeply committed not only to her family, but to her local community. She also ran the campaign to save Erskineville Post Office. Now, before the Erskineville Post Office campaign, and I just want to read a little book that Sue gave me earlier, and just a little paragraph to indicate about that, but she was also instrumental in the Green Bands Park effort to create that park, in saving Jack Shuttleworth Reserve. So all of those things that are so important to inner city community members, like public space, like the importance of being able to stay locally in your own home, like defending local residents that were in a much more difficult position than those they were fighting against. That was important to Molly. She collected almost 5,000 signatures for the Save Erskineville Post Office. And while the post office did move across the road, the post office is still here, and it's predominantly due to the impact and the effort that Molly Cameron and a whole bunch of her colleagues put in. Just want to read this little section from Growing Old Disgracefully. And it's just talking about the Erskineville Post Office campaign. In all of this, an outstanding role was played by the late Molly Cameron, Labor Party member and long-time local resident. Molly would set up her table outside the fruit shop every Saturday morning. She collected thousands of signatures. Save the post office, save the world was the slogan. Halfway through the campaign, and after a quadruple bypass heart operation, Molly was back at her post, rain, hail or shine. Such devotion to a cause became an inspiration to all of us, and we eventually won. The building was saved and the post office stays, although now across the road. So just a little slice of the effort in which Molly took and the interest she gave into a local community. I want to credit again Jill Lay and Sue Dahl. Sue Dahl started the idea. Jill Lay moved this idea about having a plaque to honour Molly's memory in South Sydney Council 5 years ago. So I want to once again make that apology that it's taken this long, but we'll make sure we look after it. And That's it from me. I want to call on Sue's daughter, Molly's daughter, Sue, to say a few words now. Thanks very much for coming, everybody.
I didn't expect this. Thank you everybody for coming and supporting Mum through all of her activities, whether it be family and friends and in the community. Mum fought hard for people and things that affect people's lives, and that is the post office. Sorry, that's the parks. That's their social justice rights. She, not only that, she fought hard for her family. This is the caves. And she treasured and loved her family and her friends. The post office was like Mum's baby. She worked really hard. She worked hard to save that position of the post office, and failing that, she secured the position helped secure a position across the road by lobbying and saving the post office building, got green bands on, and although they weren't needed, she secured every means possible to bring to people's attention that something was being done that shouldn't be done. Tony mentioned this passage from a book presented by Yemet. It's called Growing Old Disgracefully. The passage in here is Hal's, that he included in his excerpts about what was happening in the community. There are 32, so I've got 32 artists next to them. Put my eyes on, as Greta says. 35 Australian reflect on life over 40. There's just something else that I'd like to read out of the passage. Please, people are welcome to. This was effective campaigns. The campaign engaged in a series of meetings with trade unions with regard to the post office. Trade unions were successful in gaining their support to block plans for development through the use of traditional green bans and other industrial action. It's not necessary to enforce the green bans, but their very existence served to augment the power of the campaign and gave a full back position if the campaign failed to influence the development planning process successfully. Because the post office was going to be pulled down, it was going to be multi-storey, or a lot higher anyway, not multi-storey, but I think about 4 floors higher. This is an excerpt from Mum. This is what Mum wrote for the book. The book is people.community resource for effective community activism. Annie Nash gave it to Mum. I feel very privileged to be involved in saving our Erskineville Post Office. Every person in the Erskineville area gave our group their goodwill and assistance. That is what made us successful. There were times when things seemed black, but we never gave up hope. We repeated applications to various government bodies and support from the CFMEU union. This resulted in green bans being placed on the post office building. We won approval from South Sydney Council for our actions, and we proved just how much people power can change things. I think that's pretty much Mum in a nutshell. The council, Mum was nominated to have an award for local community on Australia Day, and Mum said, I just can't have that award. She said, lots more people, so it ended up being 24 awards Mum got given to everybody. So with that, yes, I'd invite anybody who would like to say something. I think Hal would like to say something. Terry, if you'd like to say something, please. Welcome.
Ollie Cameron was the toughest person I'd ever come across. He was like nails and bricks and everything you could think of. But under that was covered, or over that was covered a veneer that was nice and polite, and she always kept that till you really overstepped the mark. And then she got stuck into you. And my memory of her is this, that there were so many duties that she felt that she had to take part in that I couldn't keep up with her. I was the alderman, and I used to follow what she was doing to keep up with what was going on in the area. She was really a remarkable person, and I always remember her help to Mary, who she moved out of the street on the other side of Alexandria Park into Mitchell Road, Dira, who had been assaulted. She looked after Mary for years and gave her all the care and the help, and was justified. But I don't think I've ever met a finer woman, or a woman that had more activity in her than Molly did. And it's been a great pleasure. I have to, that the council recognises her duties today and her following. She was really a lovely person to deal with. She was always very, very calm and quiet, but underneath she could stick, and she stuck. And she made me stick too. She used to give me a whole lot of lessons about doing the right thing. So that's all I can say.
At Molly's farewell, I got together a bit of doggerel about Molly and what Tony and Terry have been talking about. And it went like this. The family maiden name was Foley, you see. And I tried to do it this way. The Foleys left our island shores with little but the fares. They never reached the dizzy heights of owning stocks and shares. Success is not for those who wait, but more for those who dares. So Molly knew a thing or two when it came to end of prayers, and knocking at the pearly gates, St. Peter was at prayers. "It's only me," said Molly, "see, it's a long way up them stairs." You're right. "Well, if you lived a proper life, just press the bell admission. But I'm not quite ready yet, I have one more commission. I'd like to speak to number one, of course, with your permission." St. Peter said, "That's quite an ask, you need to be on a mission." "No worries there," our Molly said. "Don't spend your life just wishing. I'd like to ask him for his help by signing this petition."
Anybody else want to say anything?
I'd just like to say that Mum's biographical character that the sisters Virginia and Kay and so put together with the help of many other people. I have copies there. I have copies of Hal's poem, if that's okay. Hal, and
Doggerel's called.
and copies of Mum's plaque. If anyone's interested. Please have a look at the photos. I'm so sorry for been so busy, but I should have asked Dorothy and Petrie their involvement in the Scouts and all other community activities, and Mum and Dad love the Scouts and the Scouts and Cubs and what they did, and the community, and I should have had the sense to ask you for photographs. Thank you, Dorothy.
Just press the button. Where's the car? On the top, so it's down.
Yeah, if you push it down halfway through, then down again, it's
Yeah, no, but everything's fine. Everything's going well. I'm about to head up there again.